to find the draft. Of course, we are spectating the
Yeah,
draft
I
on.
sent you the link over in that in our Discord, but I'm not sure if I'm not sure if it's working. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be. So I'm not. I have no idea
No,
why that's happening. Or
I, I believe I
are
believe
you
I got
able
it.
to bring it up? All
Yep.
right. Well, why don't you uh, take us through what they've picked because
All right.
I, for some reason, am not able to access it.
Okay, so we got JVB on the blue side. They have their three bans out. It is Rise, Aurelia, and Hecarim. And we have on the red side, of course, we have Reformed with three bans as well: Echo, Volibear, and Riven. It is now B1 for JVB. Let's see what they decide to pick. We do see, a lot of the carry bans, except with the Hecarim mixed in there, which I agree with. Hecarim is incredibly strong, and it will be a Renekton B1.
Oh man.
The Renekton V1, of course, very hot topic in in a lot of League of Legends esports.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Our buddy LS would have something to say about that. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah, he would be absolutely furious about this one. But it is going to be the Renekton, and the answer from Reformed is actually the Udyr and the Kai'Sa.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I've finally found the draft link that's working for me, so I've got it up, and yeah, we do have the Renekton, or we do have the Renekton, and then the Udyr answered probably a jungle pick into the Kai'Sa there for casually reformed. So that's another champion that Harley can absolutely pop off on. And Anivia picked up once again there for the Birdmang. You can see maybe a little bit of a theme coming on with the name, the Birdmang, and the
yeah,
champion picks as well.
yeah, absolutely. The Anivia was fine, I think, in my opinion. But the Sever, we'll see once again. Okay, the Sivir worked okay. I'm not going to be too salty about it, but the
Yep.
Sivir Kai'Sa matchup is actually pretty decent in Sivir's favor. But Kai'Sa is still like a very hard carry esque pick. Honestly, I'm not surprised that they didn't run it back with the Jinx Lulu. Um, but I guess we'll see Kai'Sa this time in this matchup. Let's see what the third pick is. It's going to be the Leona again.
Yeah, there we go. Leona and Kai'Sa this time. So that's going to be an interesting matchup there. Definitely, Kai'Sa can have a lot of burst early on in the game, and Sivir is able to mitigate that to a certain extent, as you say. Can block, for instance, the poke with the shield, and it's pretty easy
Yeah.
to do. But Udyr, the thing about Udyr in the jungle right now is the clear is just unbelievably fast, and you are so vulnerable. To Udyr kind of counter jungling you, being very strong at 1v1 in the early game, and just being able to grab those scuttles and get map control so quickly on the map. Once again, we are seeing 3 bans over towards Royal there in the mid lane. And meanwhile, down in the casually reformed side, the Trundle gets banned away.
Very interesting. Not too sure why the Trundle is banned.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that ban is either, but there you go.
Kind of curious, but I guess that's fine. And we see the Silos coming in from the last ban, so that will be again 4 bans for Royal.
Yep, Royal definitely being targeted here, and you can see why if you look at past results from the league. Royal, a very strong mid laner and well known for dominating lane. So we'll see what the pick is for the mid lane of casually reformed. The Malzahar is still up, of course, and definitely there was some options, but actually. There we go. Royal going to go for the Syndra, which I think matches up nicely into Anivia with the range, and does well against Renekton as well.
Yeah, I mean, Syndra is a pick that we've seen thousands and thousands of times in multiple leagues. But honestly, I'm not that much of a fan, especially not at this level of play. But I see it. Why not? And it's going to be picked up by JBB.
Ooh.
And Skarner.
All right. Captain Flowers, get in here because we got the Scorpion on the Rift, and that's a very exciting one to see. Skarner, of course, another QSS forcer over on JBB's side this time. And we'll see what Skarner can do up against the likes of Udyr. Skarner's got a pretty good clear as well, and definitely scales well with the utility. So the last pick, it is the top laner for Casually Reformed who still needs to be picked, and up against the Renekton, they go with the Ornn this time.
Okay. Man, this is a nice mix of compositions. The identities of these two compositions are definitely not as succinct as they were
Yes,
last game.
yes.
Last game we definitely had like, oh, like these two comps want to do these things.
Hmm. Hmm.
But now it's a bit of a mix and match, and we'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, very exciting. And yeah, definitely a little bit not as clear of a condition for either of these teams. But we will find out in game two if Casually Reformed can take this one 2-0 or if Joe's Big Biceps can bring us to a game three. We'll see you in just a few minutes to find out. Welcome back, everybody. We are in League of Pauses once again. Casually Reformed versus JBB, and looks like we've just got to do a quick reconnect for somebody. But we have Casually Reformed up 1-0 in this best of three, and it was an explosive ending after a really slow burn of a game, Natural, where Harley just ramped up all game long and kind of ended it off as as big as you can with a pentakill.
With a bang,
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
coming in with the explosives, with
Mm-hmm.
Jinx, of course. But yeah, I mean that game was exactly how we kind of expected it to go.
Yep.
We had that one team trying to force the time bomb to go off before the game spun out of control. But in this game, I'm not too sure anymore. What are the comps about? We see the
Mm-hmm.
Ornn, of course, on the casually reformed side. That gives that extra scaling, that long range engage.
Yes.
That can be followed up with the Leona very nicely and the Kaisa. But on the other hand, we also have Udyr on the same comp, which is, obviously not the best scaling champion. But so he might be able to be like a bridge. I'm not too sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It really only remains to be seen. Exactly how these two team compositions will play out because exactly as you say, it is not quite as cut and dry what these teams are trying to do against each other as it was in game one. So we're going to see how they stack up against each other. The Alistar is a big addition into the bot lane here. We've got Alistar notably weak at level 1 and then really strong at level 2. So that could be an interesting one because, of course, Leona looking for that level 2 or 3 engage as well. Volatile bot lane to be sure. And Sean, yeah, looking for a power clear and then looking to just get control of the map in the early to mid game. That Udyr specializes in that. By the way, I see you in chat talking about DaBaby, my man, DaBaby. Uh, did you hear his verse in Dua Lipa's latest song? Hell yeah, I love it. Okay, that's my contribution to chat. Thanks, everybody. We're back to the game. JBB versus CR. And CR is up 1-0. JBB this time on the blue side. And we'll see what the jungle starts are. It looks like this time it is going to be Sean starting up at the top lane, top side there.
Yeah, going to be pathing bot lane, so we could look for some kind of ganks there in the early game onto the Silver All-Star. I mean, the Silver is pretty safe. The way that Silver and Udyr interact is kind of like Udyr just has to wait for Silver to use her shields, and it's kind of like a game of chicken, right? Is Silver going to use her shield first, and then Udyr doesn't slap? Yeah. Will he slap? Will he or will he not slap?
Yeah.
Is the question.
It's not whether he can, it's whether he will slap.
Exactly.
The real question. And we are already seeing Harley. There you go. See, Alistar, just a complete wet blanket at level 1, not able to get anything against this Kaisa.
Yeah. I mean, Alistar basically becomes like the champion that he is at level 2.
Yes.
And then becomes, again, he reforms himself, you could say, at level 6. And then basically does not change.
Absolutely. I just got in chat. Here. We see a smackdown indeed, and there's Daniel taking very low. And yeah, he picked Ornn into the Renekton. I think, maybe trying to just shore up the composition as opposed to going for the matchup. But Sakna gonna flash right in, and Sakna gets the first blood again on the Renekton. What is happening? A couple of emotes and dances going back and forth up there, and Sakna says, nope, this is serious. We're in the league now. These ain't scrims anymore. And the teleport comes back in from Daniel, but Saknut is well and truly ahead now in that lane.
Oh, man. Okay, unless if he wasn't molding before, now he's absolutely pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not too sure why Daniel was walking up that far. Also, never mind.
Bahuto trying to get away and does get ignited. Heal has to be expended there for GG denied, but not much. Well, it definitely is an advantage here in the bot lane for CR. They're going to be able to bully them out with Bahuto being so low
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah, really not too sure why Daniel went to lane with only the armor cloth and no pots.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Interesting.
I do see why you would want to go just with cloth armor, but
Yeah.
why not pots?
Yeah,
The
I mean,
whole
maybe
point.
just he needs to get to that bramble vest just faster. But yeah, the whole point of Ornn, you know, you're gonna say it. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if you want to take the cloth armor start, then you know, get a bunch of those pots, and then you have that sustain for the lane. I understand that the idea is like, oh, like I'm gonna get my bramble vest as soon as possible. We do see Kirito here.
There's the gank. Yeah, there is Daniel once again caught out. This time does expend the flash, and we know Saknat had used his to get the initial first blood, so Ornn's going to go down very low once again. Bramble Vest completed. Here's the flash in. Daniel shields up and prevents the stun, but now Bahuto's the one in trouble. Sean took a lot of damage there, but Harley gets the kill in the end, and so they do equalize. Casually Reformed with 1 kill to 1. And a nice engage there. I like the trigger discipline for Murphy, who didn't break the shield for the Sivir and instead walked up and threatened the stun on another champion. A nice little, you know, nuance there.
Yeah, super well played there from Murphy. As we said, you know, Sivir is always going to be a game of chicken. Wow, we see Kirito flash.
Yep, flashes away there.
Not too sure what happened there, but I guess.
But he burned Royal's flash, so successful gank. You know, in all chat anyway.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Flash for flash, of course, is going to be way better for, you know, Garner without flash doesn't care.
Yes.
Syndra without flash definitely does care.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, right now, this Ornn is going to be really scared. Renekton, even though he can't like outright 100 to 0 you, he can chip you down and get you low enough to the point where you're like, oh, like I'm about to get dove and die.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, he just can't face up against him. You just saw in that 1v1, just as you were saying, you know, that he goes down so he knows he can't stand there and face you in a fight right now. Another thing is that Saknat has gone for the cull this time, so looking to scale up a little bit better now that he knows he's got the dominance in lane.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, honestly. Like, you know, you're going to hit those 100 CS at like 13 minutes. So yeah, I don't see anything wrong with the call there. We do see like these trades coming in for the Renekton. You know, he dices in, Qs, goes back out with the rage, of course, going to heal back up. Thank God, Daniel did take refillable pots.
There we go.
That's good. Bless his soul. Hopefully he'll be able to survive this lane. He just wants to, you know, be able to get as much CS as possible and then get his ornaments.
There you go.
Dive.
Oh, here's the dive actually, and Daniel's gonna get out. Just get out there. There we go. That refillable pot coming in. I hope these league players are listening. You don't want to give natural any sort of heart conniptions or anything by not buying potions when you go to lane. So, you know, think of the poor casters, please. We have a gold lead there though for JBB, and we did see Anivia Birdman get bullied out a little bit there in mid lane. So Casually Reformed, besides the top lane, Casually Reformed do have control here.
Yeah, they're honestly at this point both teams are doing just fine. It's kind of like a split map a little bit. I mean the map isn't really split considering where the junglers are, but we do see like a strong side and a weak side for both teams. We do see, you know, Casually Reformed here taking off the dragon, while Kirito will just take this red buff and scurry his way away, I guess.
Yep, just gonna scurry, exactly.
Yep. And we do see here a bit of a CS lead forming for Harley and Murphy. We saw how good they were last game with those leads. So if they manage to, you know, get that lead going and keep it up, they might be able to carry this game just like they did last game.
Absolutely. Kai'Sa can be nearly as dangerous as Jinx in the late game. Maybe not, you know, excited pentakill, completely melting the entire team by herself dangerous, but Kai'Sa has her own threats available, so gotta watch out for that bot lane there. And this time, you know, it is Saknat having to take a lot of responsibility on his shoulders here. It's the only lane this Renekton that is really being successful. Although we do see Birdmang looking pretty good. Oh, was that a smite steal from from
Yeah.
Kid Kirito there?
Yeah.
That's got to feel nice for the Skarner. But Saknat going to continue to clear out vision. A funny little meeting of the minds in the jungle. Here is the push. Here is the headbutt back for Murphy into the tower, but now it is Harley grabbing the kill. Looks like Murphy might get caught out here, though. Sean shows up just a second too late, and actually they do commit the Skarner ultimate here. Kid Kirito has to back right off, and so many players just arriving just a moment before they were needed, or after they were needed here in this bot lane engagement. And we get into kind of a weird situation there where it looks like CR have control of the lane, but they didn't get exactly what they wanted there.
Yeah, a bit of a weird fight there from both teams, honestly. But Reform do get the better of it. Harley gets another kill, which is really good. He's feeling really nice now. He has his Noon Quiver, his tier 2 boots, and that little crit cloak. Will be said that Royal did lose quite a bit of farm for that. His wave was not in a position where he just like afford to roam and not lose any CS. We do see the bird here roaming, and this is
dead. Man, yeah, not even anything to give you play-by-play for. I'll just let you keep going because that was just a easy dive.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, maybe flash away. You respect the fact that Anivia isn't on the map, but once you see that Anivia right around the corner, there's not much you can do anymore.
Exactly.
So, sack that here. Definitely going to be failing very good. Daniel. Oh, Melt's coming here.
Here we go. Murphy just ulting for the disengage. Nice solar flare there. That's a good use of that. It looked like Bahuto did have kind of some blood in his eyes there, looking for the engage, and denied easily by Murphy. So that's going to be a bit of a gold lead here for JBB, mostly with regards to that CS lead for top and mid. But CR feeling just fine as usual.
Yeah, I mean, this is honestly kind of like a similar situation that we've seen to last game, where JBB's top side is really strong, and Reform's bot lane is kind of like ahead and is the win condition for Reformed here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, right now we kind of want to see JBB to push that top side further, basically make Daniel's life absolutely miserable. Like, you do not get XP, you do not get farm, you do not get to dish out those ornaments.
Yes.
While Daniel just has to play that weak side. He has to get that CS, has to get that XP. Now that this Renekton has a Bork, yeah, that's one scary croc.
Yeah, deciding not to go for the Prowler's Claw this time and instead going for more of that dueling power to take out Ornn there. I wonder what the mythic is going to be for Renekton, if the Stride Breaker may come in this time instead. But in any case, it definitely is a very scary Renekton, regardless of which items he chooses to build at this point. So yeah, it's going to be a really interesting game, because I'm just having a little bit of caster panic here, because I realized I don't know what any of the upgraded mythics are called when Ornn builds them. I used to know what all those items are called, and since the new season, you barely see Ornn, or you don't see him nearly as much as you used to. And so I'll if you don't remember them, then I guess we'll just kind of have to make up names. But if you remember them, I'll just rely on you. But those items, regardless of what they're called, are very important in this game, and getting to that point is going to be a big game changer.
Yeah, Daniel has to be careful. Okay.
Yeah, it looked like that tower was almost gone, but not quite. We're not quite past 14 minutes. There's the engage here coming in from Bahutot, but now Murphy just going to pop that Aftershock, pop that W, and get out of there. So not much done there. And here is actually Royal to try to continue to apply pressure, but not going to get anything out of that.
Yeah, Royal is a little over-roaming here in this game. Daniel in a bit of danger here again.
Looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But the tower does go down in the mid lane. There we go. You see Murphy actually going for an engage here, and there we go. Stacking that crowd control on top of each other. And here's the teleport coming in from the Renekton. Will he be able to get anything? Woes for the Q, but doesn't manage to get the heal back. And it's casually Reformed, coming out very much the worse for wear in the end in this team fight. Here's Kid Kirito trying to chase down Royal, and Bahutot close behind. That's a good stun to dissuade them. But yeah, JBB really came out ahead in the end because they're going to have control of the dragon.
We see the replay. I mean, Harley, oh, that is so sad, man.
Yeah.
You know, once that play goes down, Sean has nothing to do, right? He's the bear man. He runs and slaps. He doesn't do much else. Royal just doesn't have the damage right now. So the team fight kind of, they get a good pick, but they're too slow on the disengage. And, oh man, Harley feels bad, man. I saw that flash.
Yeah. We'll forget about it, Harley. You had a pentakill last game. You know,
yeah.
you get one, and that is JBB securing the dragon there. So it's going to be Infernal Soul, the available soul on the Rift. And since both teams have a dragon, we are waiting quite a bit of time before that soul really does come into play.
Yeah, it'll take a bit of time, but obviously, you know, Infernal Soul is extremely strong on both comps, to be honest. So I want both teams definitely to fight for this one. But now we see, you know, let's look back a bit on the state of the game. We see the Birdmang is doing pretty well. He has his item completed, and he's pretty far ahead to Royal. Most of that just comes from Royal over roaming a bit towards the bot side.
Right.
Which I agree with the idea. Harley is your win condition, so you want to just get him as ahead as possible. But you still have to be a champion, so you know, keep that in mind. But Daniel here is, I mean, he's not doing great.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. Yeah, and you know, it is Ornn. He definitely has utility late game, but actually an engage does come in, and there we go. That stun is going to come down from Murphy to try to continue to lock down GG Denied, but now Murphy is way out in no man's land. That's going to be the kill, gifted over to GG Denied. Did manage to save his ADC, but it looks pretty damn good for JBB. They are going to be able to get this tower as well, and Harley's just going to have to back off. So just a great play there overall. Baiting the bottom lane in from Casually Reformed and then finishing the kill on Murphy.
Okay, I mean, I was gonna say, you know, that JBB does have some weak points, but
flash in here from Saknun and just completely shuts him down. Royal is going to be one shot by the Croc, and that is going to open up the mid lane as well. So JBB really opening up here in this game.
Wow, I mean, the domination here from JBB is really impressive. I mean, you know, that dive was perfectly executed. Not much Royal can do, but you know, the execution was still very impressive. And now JBB is just in a beautiful spot. I mean, they are controlling this game. They are confident. Again, the only problem is that if they throw and Harley gets another few kills, this could be dangerous. The ornaments could come in. I will say it's not as big of a deal as a Jinx Lulu, but it's still losable, but JBB are pretty confident.
Yeah, Casually Reformed not quite scaling up as much, but they are still technically the stronger late game team if it comes to that. So yeah, you've got to be careful, and I shudder to think how JBB's confidence might be affected if they allow that to happen again. An interesting development, though, we do see Renekton going for Sunfire Aegis, and I actually don't think I've ever seen this before. Maybe I'm not caught up on the meta. Maybe chat will, you know, flame me for this, but that's a first for me. I've never seen that item on Renekton before.
I have actually seen it quite a bit in solo queue at this point.
Okay.
I mean, it's a build that exists.
Right, a build that exists. And Royal going to try to go for the kill and doesn't quite manage to even grab the egg for the Birdmang. Not going to get anything, and JBB going to continue to press their advantage. Here is the Ornn ultimate coming through, but it doesn't hit the target, and Daniel's going to have to back right off. And that's going to be 2 more kills going for the side of JBB. They're continuing to press their advantage.
Yeah, we see the replay here. I mean, Reformed, why are you doing this? There's not much point in doing this. Your Kaisa isn't there, and it's pretty much your only source of damage at this point. Royal just does not do enough damage to actually carry fights. He doesn't have a mythic yet. Yeah. He doesn't have the XP required to carry on Syndra at this point. I mean, I'd say level 11 is pretty good, but I think the lack of items is more.
Yeah, look at the items. I mean, it's just a garage sale down there. So JBB is going to be able to pick up this Rift Herald for that, and Dragon will come up in 30 seconds. Pretty damn good timing for JBB. They're going to be able to grab control of a lane and maybe just rotate down towards that dragon, get themselves one step closer to the Infernal Soul. And yeah, you know, this time Sacknut with the carry has been really strong, and the Birdmeng is really popping off with the damage here on this Anivia. And like you said, Royal not being able to one-shot that Anivia in that fight, just, you know, at that point, why are you fighting?
Yeah, it's a problem. A little bit of a misunderstanding how you win these fights, I think. But you know, like Reformed still have a chance in this game. It's not like it's doomed or anything like that.
Yep.
But I will say Sacknet is definitely looking very, very, very strong. I mean, you know, he has the the Sunfire. Is that
Yes.
is that still the name of the item? Yeah, yeah.
Yep, Sunfire Aegis, or Aegis if you prefer. But
Got
actually, as you know, as we say that, the dragon fight comes in, and Renekton will definitely be a key part of this fight. There's the Anivia wall to block off that one entrance, and so the dragon slowly starts to go down, but it's going to start going down a lot quicker. And look at this, Anivia just able to zone so effectively. They can't even get close to that dragon natural, and man, it is such good setup there for JBB.
Yeah.
CR just had no chance.
Yeah, I mean, not much you can do. You know, you have the Renekton zoning that other entrance, and you have Anivia on the other one. Like, the only thing Reformed could have potentially done is try to get Prio in mid lane before the fact, and try to use the river entrance. But
this Herald went in the jump. I think that might have been somebody who thought they had a different thing in their 4 slot. I'm not sure that was where that Herald was intending to go, and so CR kind of get a gift there, but still JBB in firm control here.
I mean, a bit of a silly mistake, but honestly, not too important. At this point in the game, Herald isn't going to do much anyways, unless you like put it on the Renekton and you somehow manage to get like a fantastic split.
There you go.
But it'll be fine. I mean, this game is looking really rough for Reformed now. JBB is going to keep stacking those Drakes, and once they get to Infernal Soul, I don't know if Reformed can come back.
Yeah, with Infernal Soul, you've just got too much threat. You know, it's like that Anivia uses that so well, and the Sivir also. So yeah, Royal, they really need to get some sort of catch here. They've got the Syndra, Leona, Udyr available, and the Ornn if you need that longer range. And CR just need to find some shutdowns and start getting this gold back. We keep mentioning there is that scaling available, but it just looks less and less likely as this game progresses here.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with scaling is that like you have to get to the point where your carries have enough items and damage to actually carry fights.
Yes.
But on Reformed right now, I mean, the carries are Royal and Harley. And Harley is doing fine, but Royal, not so much. So there's pretty much only one person that can win these fights for now, and it's Harley. And I mean, Kaisa is good. She is a very good AD carry, especially in solo queue. But she's kind of in a weird spot where she's basically like a pseudo assassin, where she really wants to basically get an isolated queue on the backline, or on, for example, in this game it will probably be either the bird or denied, and basically just burst them down and get out. But you have the Alistar. I mean, you have the Alistar, you have the Renekton, you have obviously, I mean, the Skarner, right?
Yeah,
they're incredible at just like denying you any possibility from a back to front team fight, because the moment you press R on that Sivir, Renekton stuns you, Skarner can just pull you in, Alistar just tells you to just go away somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not sure if this is carryable anymore.
Absolutely, yeah. They just are set up so well to counter that Kaisa. And, this is the game exactly where you want that Jinx, because you want to just be able to be effective by hitting the front line, it would be the perfect game to be able to do that. And like you said, just a different champion design requires a different play style. And the dragon is 138 away. The Baron has spawned, but not probably be much effect. But Sean, I don't know, might have gotten a little greedy for this. Harley's gonna get away. Oh, Kid Karita was so close to getting that ultimate there onto Harley, but Harley just escapes. Man, that's a bit of a clencher there, and
so
you
close.
are going to have to, kind of recover from that, stop your hands from shaking a little bit, and try to regroup here for Casually Reformed. But it's been a bit of a standstill, and that definitely benefits Casually Reformed, has to be said. You know, there hasn't been action in quite a while. Now JBB going for a bit of the death bush, and they seem a little bit lost in terms of kind of what action to take next. But they are doing something that will work, which is just kind of waiting to scale up those dragons.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have much to do right now. There's not that many objectives on the map. The Baron is up, but going for a Baron is probably not the best idea. You don't really want to throw your lead. You're in control of this game. You can just wait for them to make a mistake. I will say that Harley has his collector now. So if there was one opportunity to catch someone off and one-shot them, it's now.
Yes.
Especially with this Drake coming out soon. You know, this is the perfect moment to look for a pick, and it does look like they're... No.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Hang on.
no.
Where is Joe's big biceps? Where are the biceps, Natural? They're nowhere near this Baron, and this might be something.
They sniff
They're
it out.
turning it down a little bit slow, and they're about halfway through while CR are there. This is a big risk to take, and Kid Corito has shown up just in time. Are they going to finish it? Actually, Kid Corito goes in and gets shut down really early, and that is Harley getting that kill. Now it's Sacknut in the back line, though, and so powerful, but Daniel takes him out. It's so low health bars for every single member of Casually Reformed, but have they done it? Have they found a way back into this game? They are running for their lives at this point, and Bahu Utot might be a little bit... it looks like his move speed is just a little bit higher than the Kai'Sa, and there is Royal to save that fight. And wow, Casually Reformed, that's one of the riskiest Barons I've ever seen in any game, but it ends up, you gotta say, it ends up paying off for them.
Yeah, I mean, Monka, like, I don't know what else to say. Like, this team fight goes just slightly worse, and they insta-lose the game.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
But they managed to pull it off. They get another kill on Harley. It's a 2-for-1, and the one that dies is Sean, so you don't really care. But now it's going to be the turn of this Drake to get pressured. And, you know, your Kai'Sa is looking okay. She might... Oh,
the flash in. Here's Kid Corito, and actually does get engaged on. There's the Solar Flare, and Harley manages to take down Kid Corito once again. Might have overextended. Oh no, is it going to happen? Here's the Anivia Wall. Actually, the Anivia Wall is beautiful, cutting off both of the frontliners there. Utot takes out Sean, and that is actually going to be Casually Reformed losing out on that one and giving up a dragon for it, and that's going to be soul point. So wow, it looked like maybe even another catch where Kid Corito got overextended, but a beautiful Anivia Wall turns it around.
Yeah, I mean, we do see a bit of the replay here. Leona manages to lock down Kirito, and Harley gets that isolated Q, so they just melt him. But the problem is that then you have Sean and Murphy on the other side of that wall, and there is just no way in to that zone with the Anivia being there and the Renekton just zoning them off for Harley and Royal to follow up on any further engage.
Yep.
So, I mean, just, you know, like, the pick is good. I'm not sure how you win the fight, though.
Exactly, right? Yeah, you know, I have to compliment the Birdman because this is impressive Anivia play. You know, the amount of... Like, you've changed the entire shape of the map when you play Anivia right, and that's exactly what he's doing, you know, zoning off multiple members from each team fight. Really impressive stuff. You can see why the Birdman is his name, and he's definitely showing the bird micro in an impressive way. Will Murphy go on this? You wouldn't think. Murphy just hits the Baron instead. A nice idea there. Sacknut takes a bit of damage.
Yeah, the idea of the Zenith Blade there being used to aggro Baron is pretty interesting. But I would not have done that, because if you hit someone by accident...
yeah, a little risky, yeah.
Yeah. But it'll turn out just fine. I mean, yeah, GBB is in a really commanding spot, especially since now they're on the Soul Point. They can basically pressure either or once that Drake comes up, and they can be like, okay, you can have like one Infernal, we'll just take the Baron. Or they can do the opposite.
Yes.
So it's a very dangerous spot to be in for Reformed.
Yeah, and yeah, you know, Harley, we see the collector completed. Now we see the QSS, a little bit of utility there, and that's a very valuable buy, but it does slow down the damage. And you know, we've said it before. That is one of those things that those QSS forcers really command in the game, and Harley is falling prey to that. So the Collector and the Kraken Slayer, the only items available for Harley to do what he needs to do in these games.
Yeah, I mean, he has to take it. he has no choice. You're playing into Skarner, Anivia. Yeah, you cannot afford to not take QSS in this game, especially because you are the only carry.
Yeah.
So if you are the only carry like that, Skarner just flash ults you, and if you don't have QSS, it's pretty much doomed.
Yeah. Yep.
Just
Now the Baron's going to be
though.
taken here. Yeah, and there's just no contest. You know, there, look, you even see the Call of the Forge God coming in, just, you know, letting you know the Forge God is here, watching, not contributing, but watching the game. And you know, Daniel showing them that, but the Baron will be taken. So now JBB needs to use this either to make sure they gain full control of that bot side of the map so that they can secure the dragon, or they need to start pushing for inhibitors because this game continues to tick on. The clock continues to tick, and the longer it goes, the more items that Harley is able to amass here.
Yeah, I mean, it's JBB can look to close the game out for sure, but honestly, even if they don't, it's not like, in my opinion, it's not like last game where you had like a literal ticking time bomb.
Yep.
This time, honestly, even if you take it slow, you're fine. You're still at soul point. You know, Sivir, not the best super late game hyper carry, still doing a lot of damage though.
There's an engage here though, and actually it looks like the jungler will go down very early. GG denied takes out Sean, unstoppable there. Harley uses the QSS, but it's just not gonna be good enough, and a double kill comes in for GG denied kind of out of nowhere. You saw a little dance, and there's GG denied flashing in. Let's break down this fight here. Started off with a scuttle.
Yeah, I mean, this is just greedy, and as I said, you know, Sivir does a lot of damage. You can see here that there's gonna be one Q that comes out, there it is, and boom, Sivir, Harley exploded.
Yeah,
I believe there was like a Nivea E as well mixed in with the
yes,
with the Sivir Q, but I mean, yeah, and this should just be game.
Yep, probably going to end it right here. They still have the Baron buff ticking. They're not even going to wait for that fourth dragon. They are just going to cruise right on in and flies here. It is going to be, unless if there's an absolute miracle coming through, it's going to be 1-1 in this series. Birdbang taking out Sean over on the other side. Actually, you know, they have a bit of a task to finish off this Nexus, and we might be continuing this game. There is the engage. But I don't know if they're going to be able to get anything out of this one.
Yeah.
There we go. So they do delay. They do delay the end. Harley gets a shutdown as well. Huh. So actually, yeah,
kind of froze for a second.
Yeah,
so
mine did. Mine did too. But there we go. In the end, they don't manage to finish, and Harley takes down the Fed Anivia. So that's actually kind of, you know, it's non-trivial. I mean, it's still a very, very long road from Casually Reformed, but they do delay the inevitable, or the mostly inevitable, by just a little bit more. And those upgrades are starting to come through. You can see the Kraken Slayer has already been upgraded. Maybe it's called what? The Kraken Destroyer? I don't know.
I don't remember. I think it's like the Hydra something.
Oh, maybe something like that. Well, anyway,
look it up on Wiki.
Chat, you can you can give it to us. Give us a break. It's the first game of the split. But we are seeing the dragon being focused, and yeah, CR definitely need this. They're gonna have to try not to steal, but oh, the Skarner does manage to get the steal, and now the fight is on. Harley has such an important job here, and it is already Daniel going down. Here comes the rest of the team coming in to try to fight, and really nice use of the blast cone to get away. But remember, those inhibitors and the towers are all gone in the base of Casually Reformed, so we are going to see them press on here up through the lane. And I had a stream freeze here, so hopefully we can get that back as soon as possible. And
unfortunate. Yeah,
unfortunate here. It looks like the game's going to be ended, but yeah, it looks like everything is frozen here, so we're back.
It's a spectator bug. I've seen this one before.
No, that's very, very unlucky. But I'll just head back into the game. Oh yeah, just a complete spectator bug. Even in my game, it's frozen as well. So really unlucky. I think that the only the spectators are unable to see it. So we're gonna find out very soon from the teams whether the game ended or not. And yeah, you know, Riot. Sometimes they do troll us, don't they?
Yeah, I've seen this bug before. Unfortunately, sometimes when the game ends, for some reason, the spectator mode just crashes.
Oh,
I'm not too sure why.
So we are almost sure that JBB took that one. I'm going to exit out of my game and just make sure that that is what happened. But you know, we could probably predict that that JBB just ended up cruising down and ending the game. And here we go. Yes, they did indeed. So that was the victory for JBB, bringing it to 1-1. And so we're going to go into the game 3 here for this series.